Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And if you are new here, my name is Andrea, Busy Mom in the Magic, and I'm so happy to be hanging out with you today. If you are heading to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party this year, I have made this video just for you. After attending the party multiple times as a family, we have definitely learned what works, what we would do differently, and how to make the most of our evening without feeling like we're running from one side of Magic Kingdom to the complete opposite side. So today, I am sharing exactly how I'm planning the party for our family this year, from what to pack, when to arrive, the best strategy for trick-or-treating, candy is a must, the rides, the shows, all the characters, and even the mistakes I see families make, unfortunately, over and over again. My goal today is that by the time that you end this video, you'll head to your party feeling completely prepared, all the confidence in the world, and let's go ahead and jump right into it. I actually think that your Halloween party starts before you even get to Magic Kingdom. A little preparation beforehand can make the biggest difference once you are inside the park. The first thing I always remind all of my friends on here is, even though it's called the Halloween party, it is still Florida. It is still hot. All the party nights are in August, September, and October, and those evenings can be extremely warm and humid. And if your costume has layers, I would definitely think through the weather to make sure that you are most comfortable wearing it for several hours. We've learned over the years that comfort usually wins. And if you are dressing younger kids, I'd also think about bathroom breaks, like the princess dresses, the capes, the elaborate costumes that are so adorable, but they can also make those quick restroom stops take a little bit longer. So prepare for that. If you are traveling with toddlers, the younger children don't feel like they have to wear a full costume the entire night. Now, as a family who loves to dress to the nines, we still have to be thoughtful on how we are actually dressing and come up with a strategy for those potty breaks. So Annie, if she's Ariel, I need to be prepared for that. Whenever she was Jack Skellington, that was probably one of the most easier potty breaks. And then whenever she was Moana in one year, even though it was really light, it wasn't really comfortable, and all the strings from the bottom wasn't really all that great. But it is not against the rules to bring a change of clothes, even though it is super fun and our family loves to dress up in the full costumes. Don't be afraid to bring a change of clothes just in case, especially considering the heat and going into hurricane season. So the next question, what is actually in our backpacks, or what are we bringing into the parks? A portable charger is probably my number one recommendation. You're going to be checking the wait times. You're going to be ordering food, taking pictures, maybe filming. Now, one thing is you don't get to use the lightning lane, so that's going to save some battery, but your battery can disappear pretty quickly. So we also bring cooling towels, again, back to the heat. Maybe your rechargeable fan, your ponchos, because those afternoon storms, they do like to sneak in, some refillable bottles. And if you have little ones, I would absolutely recommend bringing your stroller, even if they don't normally use one at home. This is late night. You're walking several miles at the end of the day, and by 10 or 11 o'clock, those little legs get really tired. And also, it's a really great thing to be carrying all the candy, do a dump, and get more. But we'll talk a little bit about that. I know some parents wonder if they should skip the stroller because their child is getting older. Personally, I would rather push an empty stroller for an hour than carry a sleeping 5-year-old all the way down Main Street and try to get back to the resort room at the end of the night. So stroller is a thumbs up for me. Now let's talk costumes, because this is one of the most fun parts of the party, especially for our family. Disney does have costume guidelines, so make sure that you are looking over those before your trip. For our family, we usually pick something that Annie wants to wear, something she's really passionate about, and then my husband and I are the sidekicks. But while you're choosing, remember, you'll be riding the attractions. You're still going to be sitting down for shows. You'll be walking all over Magic Kingdom. So sometimes the simpler, the better. Maybe it makes you happier, but also maybe you want to go full on. Like, that makes us happy. Every family is different, but again, it doesn't hurt to bring a second change of clothes just in case. Now, if your child has more of an elaborate costume, consider packing a change of clothes in the stroller. They can enjoy dressing up for pictures and the characters early in the evening, and then change it to something cooler once the party is in full swing, or maybe you can change them into their PJs while they're getting really sleepy. Whatever you think is best. But I don't think it's going to be a really bad idea if you bring a change of clothes. Now, one of the biggest questions I get every single year is, what time should we get there? My answer is almost always the same: as close to 4 o'clock as you comfortably can. One of the biggest perks of the Halloween party ticket is that guests are allowed into Magic Kingdom before the party actually begins. I love taking advantage of those extra hours because it allows us to get settled before everything starts. And if you have already had lightning lanes, you can utilize those lightning lanes before the party starts. So you can really get a bang for your buck and get a lot done. Another tip would be, don't start with candy once you just arrive. I know the candy is exciting, but trust me, when those party announcements begin at 7 o'clock, you don't want to be standing in your first candy line. Instead, use those hours wisely. So here's what we do between 4 and 7. Our family usually has a pretty simple routine year after year. First, we make our way into Magic Kingdom and get our party wristbands. That's going to be right after you scan in for your tickets. Then we will stop at dinner. I cannot stress this enough. Eat before the party officially starts. From 7 until midnight, there are so many exclusive things happening that I don't like spending one of those valuable hours waiting for food. Once we've eaten, we'll usually enjoy a couple of attractions while the daytime guests are still finishing out their day. It's a really nice way to ease into the evening without feeling rushed. Now, take your party pictures early. If you're hoping for family pictures in your costumes, I actually recommend doing those before it gets too dark. The lighting is still beautiful around sunset, and you'll have a little bit more flexibility before everyone starts lining up for the party entertainment. And if your kiddos are going to be changing into their night clothes, you need to get that done, right? And then also get your party map. One thing that's really easy to overlook is grabbing your party map. Just don't stick it in your backpack or your stroller. Take a minute to actually look through it. It shows everything. It shows candy locations, entertainment schedules, the specialty food exclusives, the merchandise, the characters, all the things. Having a general idea of where everything is located is going to save you so much unnecessary time just walking around and trying to figure it out. And also saying that, don't over plan. This is probably my biggest piece of advice in today's video. Please don't try to schedule every minute of your night. Magic Kingdom just feels different during the Halloween party. There are decorations everywhere. I love it so much. It looks amazing. There's special music playing throughout the park, families dressed up together, kids laughing with all the candy, the sugar rush. Sometimes the best memories come from slowing down and soaking in that atmosphere instead of sprinting to the very next attraction. Yes, have a plan, have a guideline, but leave room for those moments that you just simply didn't expect. Now that you're inside Magic Kingdom and ready for the party to begin, the next question becomes, how do you actually decide what to do first? Because the truth is, there is no way to experience everything in one single night. It's 7 o'clock, the party officially begins, and this is where I think a lot of families accidentally overwhelm themselves. And I will say that it is and can be overwhelming, especially if you don't go every year. You open the map, you see everything happening, and suddenly it feels like you need to run from one side of Magic Kingdom to the other side all night long. I want to encourage you to do the exact opposite. Instead of trying to experience everything, I want you to decide what is most important to you and your family before the party even starts. Maybe one child can select what they want, another, your husband, yourself, and make that priority. When I think about planning our evening, I like to ask one simple question. If we left tonight without doing this or a specific thing, would we be disappointed? For our family, the answer is always the Boo to You parade. That's just a non-negotiable. For another family, it might be meeting Jack and Sally, which is amazing. Collecting as much candy as possible could be another one, or riding Space Mountain in complete darkness, which is the special Halloween overlay. There is not a wrong answer, but deciding ahead of time and your family deciding ahead of time keeps you from spending the night making last minute decisions. There is no perfect plan. I also want to give you permission to let go of the idea that there is a perfect itinerary. Social media can make it look like people experienced every attraction, every character, every snack, every show, and somehow still had time to relax. The reality is everyone makes trade-offs. And honestly, I mean, here we are. That's okay. I would much rather enjoy 5 things than rush through 15 and not be able to really enjoy it together as a family. If you're visiting with teenagers, your priorities are probably going to look completely different than ours. If you're traveling with toddlers, you may decide that a dance party is more valuable than waiting an hour for a character. If you're anything like us, Annie usually tells us pretty quickly what she's excited about. And we've learned to really lean into that instead of forcing our own agenda. Some of our favorite Disney memories happened because we followed her excitement instead of a schedule that we had made. So don't be afraid to pivot. If your kids are having a great time doing something unexpected, or you walked upon something and it's making them happy, be okay with that, because it is okay. Now, here's a busy mom tip. Before the party starts, let every member of your family choose one must do. If everyone gets one priority, it's much easier to build a night where everyone leaves happy. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons families love this event, including all the kids. It's a highlight, right? The candy. And let me just say, Disney is incredibly generous with the candy. I'm talking dumps of candy. I think the first time we went, I expected someone to drop like 1 or 2 pieces in the bag. Instead, the cast members literally scoop handfuls and literally dump it into your bag. Sometimes it's a double dip, right? So you'll receive your treat bag whenever you are entering the party, but don't worry if it starts getting heavy. There are locations throughout the evening where cast members can give you a larger bag if you need one, or you can just bring your own bag and just kind of transfer it all in. There is so much candy to be had. Should you start with candy for the night? My personal answer is no. I know it's tempting because there's candy stations like literally everywhere and they look so much fun, but almost everyone has the same party idea. Instead, I like using those first couple of hours to enjoy the exclusive entertainment while everyone else is lining up for the candy. Then later in the evening, we'll stop at the candy trails as we're naturally moving throughout the different areas of the park. I'm not going to go out of the way just to have one candy stop. I'm just going to walk past it and then I'm going to go in there because it feels a lot less rushed. And we found some of the lines get noticeably shorter as you're working through the night. You don't need every candy stop. This is another place where I think families accidentally create unnecessary stress. You don't have to visit every single candy location. You can still leave literally with an unbelievable amount of candy. Like seriously, there's so much. Or you can go to the same locations multiple times. We have gotten back to our resort and wondered how we got like 20 pounds of candy. So if you're enjoying a ride, watching a show, or spending time together, don't feel guilty skipping a candy stop. You're still getting the full experience, but one thing that it is great about is it's getting some sugar in you and it keeps the kids up longer to enjoy the parade. That's like the most perfect thing. And that would be the biggest difference between the Halloween party and the Christmas party, is because we're putting sugar in our child all night long and it's easier for her to make it through the night. I know the sugar rush will pay for it later, but it really, really is nice to really get the bang for your buck of a party ticket, because my kid wants to stay up all night and she will make it through the last parade. If someone in your family has food allergies, Disney also offers allergy-friendly treats. Instead of receiving regular candy at those locations, you can collect a special token and then you can exchange those for allergy-free options. I absolutely love that Disney makes sure everyone gets to be a part of all the fun. Another busy mom tip, don't carry your candy bag over your shoulder all night. We usually toss ours in the stroller between stops, and it's one less thing to think about, one less thing to carry. Now let's talk characters, because this can easily become the biggest time commitment of your entire evening. There are just so many incredible exclusive characters during the Halloween party. And for a lot of guests, this is the main reason they bought the ticket. But here is some reality for you. Some character waits can be well over an hour. So I always recommend deciding ahead of time which characters are truly worth that wait for your family. If meeting Jack and Sally is at the very, very top of your list, make that a priority. If your kids absolutely love Stitch like mine does, head there first. If your goal is seeing villains you don't normally meet in the parks, build your evening around that. The important thing is choosing intentionally instead of bouncing from one line to the next, because one wait happened to look shorter. Or if you want to prioritize the character over the parade or the fireworks showed, those lines do simply go down. I also think some of the entertainment gets overlooked because everyone is focused on the characters. This year, we have things like Stitch's Dance Party, Captain Jack Sparrow's Pirate Entertainment, and other little Halloween surprises that make Magic Kingdom feel completely different than just your regular park day in Magic Kingdom. Some of my favorite memories aren't from standing in line. They're just stumbling across these moments while walking through the park. If you're visiting with younger kids, do not underestimate the importance of slowing down for a few minutes. Grab a snack. Find some shade. Watch people walk by. I love people watching. Let your kids enjoy the atmosphere. Those little breaks often help everyone reset before heading into the next big part of the evening. So now you've decided what's most important for your family. You've got a plan for trick-or-treating, and you've figured out how you want to approach the characters. Next, we're going to be talking about the rides, because some attractions become completely different during the Halloween party, and there are a few strategies that can save you a surprising amount of time before we get into my favorite part. Now let's talk about the rides, because this is one of my favorite parts of the Halloween party. One of the biggest misconceptions I hear is that people think the party is all about the candy and the shows and just the characters. While those are definitely huge highlights, the rides are honestly one of the reasons we keep coming back. Not only are many of Magic Kingdom's most popular attractions open during the party, but a few of them have exclusive Halloween overlays that you can only experience during these event nights. Don't try to ride everything. I know it's tempting to look at the attraction list and think maybe tonight is the night we will ride everything. The truth is, probably not. And honestly, I don't think that should be your goal. Magic Kingdom is open all year long. The Halloween party only happens on select nights during the fall. So if I have to choose between squeezing in one more ride or experiencing something that's exclusive to the party, I'm almost always choosing the exclusive experience. That doesn't mean you skip rides altogether. It just means prioritize the rides that just feel different tonight. Now, if you've never experienced Space Mountain during the Halloween party, you are in for a treat. Disney turns off the normal ride lighting. Like, you already thought it was dark. It's dark. It adds a Halloween soundtrack and it suddenly feels like a completely different attraction. Even if you've ridden Space Mountain 100 times, this version is worth experiencing. The Mad Tea Party is another fun one because the lighting package completely changes. It's a simple change, but the details make it so fun. So when do we actually ride attractions? Personally, we like to ride throughout the evening instead of dedicating one big block of time. Maybe we'll grab a ride after trick-or-treating, then watch one of the parades, then ride something else while other guests are finding a fireworks spot. Keeping that flexibility has worked really, really well for our family over the years because it helps us avoid that feeling rushed and going all over the place feeling. Now, if a ride has a long wait when you walk by, do not panic. Keep enjoying the party and then just check again later. You can get on your My Disney Experience app and keep up with those wait times, and they can change dramatically throughout the evening. So make sure that you're keeping up with that. I have to be honest, if you asked me to pick only one thing to experience during the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, it would have to be the Boo to You parade every single time. I know everybody, they have their favorite part of the party, but this parade is absolutely iconic. It starts with the Headless Horseman making his way down the parade route, which literally gives me cold chills every single time. And also my husband, Tyler. Then the music starts. And Max from the Goofy movie, I feel like I am young again. Max is coming out. It is like, if we listen to each other's heart. Like I feel like I'm at a full-blown concert. As soon as they come over the intercom and they're like, are you ready to party? I lose all maturity. All of it is gone. So when that music starts, if you've been there before, you already know what I'm talking about. I promise you will have that soundtrack stuck in your head for weeks. Between Eye to Eye and the Boo to You, it's not going to leave until Christmas. The first or the second parade is another big question. This is one of the questions that I get asked a lot. Should you watch the first parade or the second parade? Personally, we almost always choose the second parade. Now, here's why. A lot of families with younger children leave right after the fireworks or head back to the resort before the second parade even begins. That often means fewer people along the parade route and much, much more of a relaxed experience. We also like finding a spot about 30 to 45 minutes before the parade, or we'll make Tyler make the spot. You definitely don't need to camp out for hours. Just find a place where your kids can actually see. If you have little ones sitting along the curb, it gives them a great view without having to hold them up the entire parade. Or we just allow Annie to sit in her stroller because it's a little bit elevated rather than just sitting on the ground. And honestly, watching your child experience the parade is one of my favorite things to do as a family. It is just so much fun and so exciting. Now, here's a busy mom tip. If you're watching the second parade, use that first parade time to enjoy attractions or the hard to get characters. So many people are already sitting around the parade route. Those lines really, really go down. Once the first parade wraps up, it's time for another party exclusive that we just can't skip. The Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular. Even if you've never seen the movie, this show is incredibly entertainment. The Sanderson sisters take over Cinderella's castle along with some of Disney's most popular villains. And it's one of those performances that really brings in the energy and the Halloween atmosphere to life. It's a great show. You don't necessarily have to line up an hour beforehand. Instead, decide which showtime works best with the rest of your evening. If you just finished the parade, you may head towards the castle for a later performance while grabbing a snack along the way. That's an option. The performance happens multiple times throughout the night, so make sure that you're referring back to that brochure. If you are visiting with younger children, don't stress if they don't sit through the entire show. Some kids are completely captivated. Others are more interested in dancing or people watching or heading to the next attraction. And that's okay. The goal isn't checking every box, right? It's making sure your family is having an amazing time together. And finally, let's talk about the fireworks. Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular is hosted by Jack Skellington and combines fireworks, the projections, oh my gosh, so much lasers and music. It's an incredible nighttime spectacular. If this is your first Halloween party, I would absolutely make time to watch it. If you've never seen it before, make time to watch it. The projections on the castle just add so much to the experience. So I definitely recommend finding a viewing spot where you can have a clear view of the castle so you can see the entire experience. Now, this is where I think a lot of families accidentally end their night too early. After the fireworks, you'll notice a huge wave of people leaving Main Street. Instead of following everybody else, here's a consideration. Head the opposite direction. Ride a few attractions if you can get them in. Ride one more. Grab another candy stop. Take some pictures. Magic Kingdom actually starts feeling a little calmer later in the evening. And some of our favorite memories have happened during those last couple of hours where we are just trying to get as much done and we kind of make it into a challenge. It's just super fun. So now you've got to experience the biggest entertainment, ridden some incredible attractions, and hopefully have at least a few bags of candy. But before we wrap up, there are still a few things I don't want you to miss, including some of my favorite Halloween snacks, some hidden details throughout the park. And finally, I'm going to walk you through exactly how our family would spend the entire evening from 4 o'clock until the party ends at midnight. And so you can use it as a starting point for your own trip. All right, before we wrap up, let's talk about one of my favorite parts of any Disney event. Of course, it's the food. One thing Disney does incredibly well is creating snacks that make the event feel super special. During the Halloween party, you'll find exclusive treats, the themed desserts, the specialty drinks, the party-only menu items that you will not find during a regular park day. I'll be honest though, I don't think you need to try everything. It's not a mad rush to try all the things. There are so many options that if you spend your entire night chasing snacks, you will miss out on a lot of what makes this party really, really special. So here is what we do. Remember how I mentioned eating dinner before 7 o'clock? This is exactly why. Once the party officially starts, we usually think of food as just like a fun break instead of an entire full meal. Maybe we will grab one specialty dessert to share. Maybe a seasonal drink or one snack that we've really been looking forward to. Keeping it simple means that we're spending more time enjoying the party and less time waiting in lines for food exclusives. Now, you do have the mobile order. So if there's a specific snack that you've had your eyes on, don't forget about using it. Just like during the day, those return windows can fill up quickly. So if you know where you would like to stop later in the evening, go ahead. Place your order early so you're not scrambling around when everyone else, they also decided that they're very hungry as well. Split your Disney Halloween treats. Disney portions are very generous and sharing lets your family try more without feeling stuffed the entire night through. Now, I want to share something that I don't think that gets talked about enough. Some of our favorite memories from the Halloween party aren't just the headliners. They're the little moments in between, like walking down Main Street with all the Halloween decorations lit up, hearing the cadaver dance perform as you pass by, watching kids dance with the characters or just dancing in the streets with their family, stopping for photo pass pictures, or just simply sitting on a bench with a snack and taking in and breathing in the atmosphere. Disney puts so much detail into these parties, and sometimes slowing down is the best way to truly appreciate the time that you're spending there. And if you have Memory Maker, do not skip the photo pass photographers. The Halloween magic shots are so much fun. And these pictures, you simply You just cannot get them in a normal park day. This is just such a fun party special. Even if you usually rely on your phone for photos, I would actually encourage you to stop when you see a PhotoPass photographer, because you will be so glad that you did this later. They are super, super cool looking. Now, if Halloween merchandise is on your list, I'd also recommend browsing a little earlier in the evening, if at all possible. Some items become really popular. And while Disney does a great job at keeping the store stocked, your favorite size or design isn't always guaranteed later in the night, and especially if you are going later on in the Halloween season. So now that we've talked you through all the different pieces of the party, I want to leave you with exactly how we would spend our evening this year. Of course, every family is different, but hopefully this gives you a starting point as you build your own plan. It's 4 o'clock. We arrive to Magic Kingdom as close to 4 as possible. We'll pick up our wristbands, grab our party map, and take the family photos while everybody still looks fresh in their costumes and our makeup has not melted off and there's not been any meltdowns. Then at 5, we sit down for dinner. Getting a good meal in before 7 o'clock has become one of our biggest traditions, because once the party starts, we just don't want to stop for a full meal. 6 o'clock, we enjoy a couple of attractions. While the park is transitioning into party mode and the regular day side guests are leaving, this is also a great time to soak in the decorations before it really gets dark and really busy. At 7 o'clock, as soon as the party officially begins, we focus on 1 or 2 of our most biggest priorities. Maybe that's the rare character. Maybe it's Jack and Sally. Maybe it's Stitch. Maybe it is a ride overlay. Maybe it's just enjoying the atmosphere while everybody else is rushing to their first candy trail. Then at 8 o'clock, we start trick-or-treating naturally, because as we are moving around the park, instead of just trying to hit every single candy location all at once, we're just, again, naturally going through. For the late evening after the parade, we catch Hocus Pocus, enjoy the fireworks, grab a Halloween snack, and then take advantage of those last couple of hours while some of the crowds begin to start heading home. That's usually when we'll ride another attraction, collect a little bit more candy, and just enjoy the atmosphere of Magic Kingdom at night at Halloween. And here is probably the biggest thing I want you to remember. Your party does not have to look like ours. Don't worry if your child decides they want to ride Dumbo 3 times instead of meeting a rare character or Jack and Sally. Do not stress if you skip a snack, or if you decide to leave a little bit early because everyone is just so exhausted. That's also okay. Some of the best Disney memories happen when you just stop trying to create the perfect minute-by-minute itinerary and just simply enjoy being together. Now, the final busy mom tip for this video. Before we wrap up, here are my biggest takeaways. Arrive as close to 4 o'clock as you can. Eat dinner before the party officially starts. Choose your family's top priorities before you even arrive. Do not feel like you have to visit every single candy stop. Take time to enjoy the atmosphere. Stay flexible, even if you're visiting with kids. And do not skip the Boo to You parade. And if you can, stay until the very end. Magic Kingdom has a completely different feeling during those last few minutes of the party. I hope this guide has helped you feel a little more prepared for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, whether this is your very first party or it's your first party coming with kids or you have been before. I truly think having a game plan helps you enjoy the night so much more. If you're planning a Walt Disney World vacation, I would love to have you here. We share Disney planning tips, family-friendly itineraries, all the resort tours, all the honest reviews, and our real life experiences visiting the parks throughout the year. all with the goal of helping busy families make the most of their vacations. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already, and let me know down in the comments, what's the one thing you're most excited to experience at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party this year? I always love hearing what everyone is looking forward to, and your answers might even help another family who's planning their trip. Thank you so much for spending a part of your day with us, and as always, we will see you on the next one.
Do you believe in magic? Comes from the